not a soul in sight. City's looking like a ghost town on a moonless summer night. Raindrops on the windshield, there's a storm moving in. He's heading back from somewhere that he never should have been. And the thunder rolls, and the thunder rolls. Every light is burning.
Wait for it.
In a house across town. She's pacing by on the telephone in her faded flannel gown, asking for a miracle, hoping she's not right, praying it's the weather that has kept him out all night. And the thunder rolls, and the thunder rolls, the thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes out of their.
Thank you for that introduction, Garth. And on the real, that's actually real thunder out there, so that was the whole purpose for playing that song. A couple of things I want to point out about that video that you just saw as the introduction to this. You know, it's interesting what really can, you know, what music can really take away from a dramatic event if you really add the right music. Like, for example, if you have a guy who's on top of, let's say, a house or something like that, and he jumps at least 12 feet, and he hits the ground, and he just, I mean, say he lives, obviously he lives, and then you add the music, that classical song, that wah, 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 tell me you're not going to be completely, you tell me that you're going to be completely upset about that. I guarantee you let out a little bit of a laugh. So, you know, you throw a little bit of music like Super Mario in there, and you know, you find, I mean, I don't know, it just changes up everything, really, to be honest with you, because I thought it was hilarious, and I guarantee you half the people who watched that video could give a damn if that guy was alright or not. You look at Jaws, I mean, the movie is a classical movie, and it made me afraid to even get in the bathtub, or any kind of water for that matter. But it wasn't just the shark, it was the music too. So whenever I was in the water, it wasn't just afraid of the shark. I was looking for the shark and listening for the music as well. So it was, like I said, it's a number of things that plays a role. How's everybody been? It's been a while. Doing this video for my cousins. I promised them I'd do one, so I know it's been a long time, and it's been several holidays, so I wouldn't even want to say how holiday was, because there's been so many. But just wanted to stay on the animal subject for a little bit. I was reading an article about this boy who was attacked by a bear. So he was in his tent. I think he was a Boy Scout, I believe, and he woke up to the sound of crunching. So imagine being in a tent and you're waking up to the sound of your skull crunching, because that's what it was. It was a skull. A skull was crunching, and it was a bear. Basically, you know, he was looking for food. So you know, he fought off the bear and did what he could, and if you look at the pictures, I mean, considering it was a bear attack, he got away pretty scot-free. I mean, he had a couple of scratches. It was nowhere near as bad as he thought it would be. So what got me though was the animal expert that came in, Steve Wymanhouse. I don't know his name. It doesn't even matter. So he comes in and they asked him, you know, why would the bear do this? So his response was, I mean, it was a stupid question to begin with. And his response is, the bear must have been hungry. So he probably went in there looking for food, and he thought the boy was the best option. The best thing to do in a situation like that is to just fight for your life. Steve, no shit, my man. You know, I mean, obviously he was not bored. He didn't go in there bored. Of course he was hungry. So yeah, I feel like every time there's the name, they had the expert attachment to it, we're destined to get an idiot or a moron attached to it as well. You know, now I've learned that firsthand being down here in the city. It's a little off subject, but still, you know, the people that you think that you're very comfortable putting your faith in don't always rise up to the occasion. I was at my gym one time, and we were doing kickboxing, and this new dude came in and he blocked a kick the wrong way, and he broke his shin. So he breaks his shin, and we're waiting for the ambulance, and this kid's in shock. He's not exactly screaming, you know, or at the top of his lungs or anything like that. He's literally in shock. So that must have been the longest 8-10 minutes of half of our lives. And anyway, so we're called the ambulance, and I see him pass by. And I was like, well, there they go right there. And then the guy next to me, he goes, no, maybe that wasn't ours. Maybe that was for somebody else. And I'm like, well, all right, you know, maybe he's right. So I don't even know. More time goes by. And sure enough, that same ambulance comes by, and it turns right around. And I was like, golly. It's like, God, unbelievable. Now, the irony in that story is, the next day I was driving to work, and I was listening to the radio. And when I was listening to the radio, they were saying that the story was a man was killed by an ambulance. And I was like, man, you know, what the hell happened there? I got to stay around and tune out and listen for this. So the guy was, he got in an accident. His car swerved off the road. It was a dirt country road, and his car swerved off. So he injured both of his legs. So what he did was, he crawled to the side and got himself off the road, which is pretty smart. And he was like right on the side skirt of it. And he waited for the ambulance. So the ambulance came in, and I understand it's a country road, but they came in like a bat out of hell, you know, going at least out on, like somewhere between 70 to 80 miles an hour, something like that. And they're driving down that country road, and all of a sudden, they hear a bump. And the guy looks back, and sure enough, it was the dude that called for them. Killed him, man. So you get injured, you call the ambulance to come help you out, and the next thing you know, they do you in. And it's over like that. Now, it's not funny that he was killed. Obviously, it's a tragedy. But it's just, you know, it's like, damn it, man. I mean, like, really? Like, how are you gonna run the guy over that called you and just kill him? So, I mean, you know, obviously those two were fired, and they weren't really charged for murder. I think it should have been manslaughter, but, you know, it was just irresponsibility. And obviously the guy wasn't paying attention. You know, he couldn't have, because how could you make a mistake like that? So, you know, that story has always stuck with me. So I'm always aware, and I don't put too much faith in the ambulance. So just try to, that's the moral of the story, is try to stay as safe as possible. And like I said, that aside, you know, I hope everybody's staying cool. It's really hot. It's almost pretty much too hot to do anything right now. A lot of people I know are going to the river, so, you know, like I said, stay safe, you know, have a blast. Don't open your eyes under that water. You know, I used to do that as a kid. A lot of us. I think back to my childhood with my cousins. We'd go to the river. We'd be like opening our eyes underwater, spitting out the water and everything, you know. And what you don't realize is, or you do realize now, is that a lot of people urinate, spit, and they do a whole bunch of stuff in that water every day. So if you really think about it, you know, you have all that urine in your mouth and stuff like that. And come to think about it, it makes sense why a lot of us got pink eye back then, and we all got sick because, you know, we pretty much had that waste in our mouth and everything, that raw sewage. So yeah, so just, you know, have a blast and wear the proper gear. Sorry this one's a little too short. I'll try to make the next one a little bit longer. I'm gonna go ahead and catch you guys later. Y'all take it easy.